Hi, welcome to BONITA'S Kitchen and thank you for joining us. Well, today I'm going to share with you an old recipe for a steamed salmon pudding. Now this could be made with your canned salmon or fresh salmon or frozen salmon. It doesn't make no difference. I'll explain that as we go. But if this interests you and you like to know how to make it, stick around and let's get started.
BONITA'S Kitchen to yours. BONITA'S Kitchen. Yours.
Now, there's not much to this recipe, but I will give you the method to it. I got about, I'm going to say you can do 6 to 8 large potatoes. I'm using probably a little bit more because they're only just medium size. Cook them, peel them, cook them, and have them almost at room temperature. I'm also using here today a can of salmon, and it's bone in, so I'm going to be taking that out, and we'll talk about that as I do it. And again, salt, pepper, onion powder, butter, egg, and milk. Over here I got a pudding tin. If you don't have a pudding tin, maybe you got your favorite bowl that you can steam it in. Now let's get started. You can either mash these potatoes or you could use your ricer if you got one and rice them, but I'm going to use the old-fashioned masher. First off, I'm going to be adding in a tablespoonful of butter, half a teaspoonful of salt, and the recipe calls for a full teaspoonful, but half of it is to put in when you're boiling your potatoes, so keep a half out for adding in afterwards. Then that's a half a teaspoonful of onion powder and a half a teaspoonful of pepper. Now I'm going to mash these up. Now this is at almost room temperature. I drained off the water, but I kept it, I reserved the water, because if you're using fresh or frozen salmon, you can pop the salmon in that potato water and just nook it for about 5 minutes to have it partly cooked to add to this recipe. Also going to be adding in there half a cup of milk. You could use fresh milk, you can use carnation milk is what my family or my mom would use in her recipes, or you could use cream. So I'm going to give you the options there for any of what you enjoy. And I got 1 egg, so all I'm going to do is break it first and just give it a little whisk to add it into this recipe. I'm going to add this in now in a little bit because my potatoes are still too warm to add that egg as such. I'm going to get to the salmon and take it out of the can. I already drained the liquid off, and now what I want to do, I want to take the skin, because when you use canned salmon, it's got the skin on, which we don't want, and it's got this soft bone or cartilage in the middle. You want to take that out, and you want to make sure all the bones is removed. So now I pretty much made sure that it's all done, and then shred it in, have it into little pieces. Now this is about 213 grams of salmon, canned, already cooked. But it's got bone in. Now you might be able to get it with the bone out, but still don't trust it. Check like this with your fingers to make sure there's no bone in there, and take the silver skin off. You can also use about a half a pound of salmon, and I've got the salmon pieces at the grocery store. That was a lot cheaper and just as tasty. So that's pretty much all you need to do there, and that's ready to go. So now this recipe today is considered a budget-friendly recipe, even though you're saying I'm using salmon. Excuse me, that's not going to be budget. But we got this canned salmon. There was like 5 different types there, and I think we paid something like $2.50 because you kept saying, no, this one is cheaper, this one's cheaper. Yeah. So just play in mind.
You gotta go for the deal.
Go for the deals. Your potatoes, the potatoes I'm using is a white potato, and that's all you need to do there. So now all I'm going to do is mash this. So pretty much all you're going to do now is just mash this equally through, and the egg is going to bind it all together. And all of that salmon is going to be infused right through these potatoes. Again, simple recipe. Now,
Quick and easy, really.
quick and easy. And this is a type of recipe you can use with something else. I'm going to be making a cheese sauce to go over it. You can do a gravy. You can have this with another meal. Yeah. And that's totally fine. So that's all the mashing I'm going to do there. I don't want to do too much with it. And now I'm going to put it in my pudding tin. So like I was saying, I'm using my pudding tin. I got it greased. You can use butter, spray, or oil, it doesn't matter. Scoop this into the pudding tin and pack it down. And then you put it into a boiler of water that's quarter ways up. You can't see it in this black pan. And I got also in there a spoon at the bottom because I don't want for my pudding tin to be touching the direct heat, because I don't want for it to burn the pudding inside. It's going to be cooking for about an hour on a medium heat. And then you want to check to see if the water is still in the pot. You don't want it boiled dry. Don't leave it unattended, of course, because this is not a slow cooker. And that's pretty much all you do there. Just packing it down like this. Now, like I was saying, if you don't have a pudding tin like this, I can share a link with you to our Amazon site that we do have them there. But if you got, some people steams their pudding in a glass, like microwave safe bowl, that always is equally as good for in the pot. Just trying to find those little clips, because there's clips in there that keeps it from coming apart. So you can put it into water, quarter full, like this, and have the cover all the ways on. Probably have it that it's got a spout, like a little hole in the lid, so the steam is coming out, but not enough to let it steam. So let that go. I'm gonna make the cream sauce now, and I'll show you the pudding when it's done. So we'll start off making this cheese sauce with 2 tablespoonfuls of butter or margarine, and let it melt down. Now while we're waiting for that to melt, I want to bring your attention to the pot. It's on a medium heat, and you gotta wait till it starts to boil before you clocks in an hour, because it's in the pot. The water could be cold to start. You want to make sure that that's nice and hot, and then put your timer on for 60 minutes. Then we're going to toss in here, I'm going to lift this because I've had lessons that have popped, 2 tablespoonfuls of flour, all-purpose flour, and then mix that around until it starts to turn into a little bit of a paste. We're going to toss in there a pinch of pepper, salt, and we're going to and onion powder. Mix that through with 1 cup of milk, and I got as well just a small amount of the potato water, the starch water, to help it to go thick as well, and to give it a little bit more, just in case you want a little bit more of that cheese sauce. Finish up the milk and reach for this potato water, the starch from boiling the potatoes, and just put a small amount, maybe 1/4 cup is fine, and let that start to cook there. See that it's starting to bubble there, looks good. I'm putting in there about 1 cup of shredded cheese, and I've got cheddar, it's got you know, probably a little bit of mozza, so Gouda. You put in the cheese that you got available. You could put some Parmesan in there if you want to. Fill your boots, as Raymond would say, just to make this cheese sauce. When we finish doing this, we're going to turn this down to warm or even off, and you can rewarm it when you're ready and use more of milk or potato starch until the pudding is cooked. And then we got this to put over the top. Yum. Alright, so now the hour is up. Now, like anything, now those puddings, everything was cooked in it, and I'm just going to take it out here safely, put it here off to the side. I want for it to get to a little bit of a room temperature, not necessarily cold, because we're going to serve it warm. But I want for it to rest for a little bit. Everything in it again was cooked. The potatoes, the salmon is all done. It just needed to build that love together. So I'll take it to my countertop. My sauce looks good over there, Raymond. You can see it. I just
definitely.
got to stir it a little there.
Well, I'll get it for you.
Will you get it for me? Yeah.
Yep, not a problem.
Stir it there. I set it on warm.
I won't have a taste now because it's
Too hot.
hot.
Yeah, I'm going to pour it into that jar and take that to the countertop as well.
Yeah.
And let's just scoop this up and hope that it comes out nice. If not, well, you got a salmon pudding that is almost like a mashed potato. But let's just have a look.
Sounds good.
So now these pudding tins got like a little bit of a niche in it that you got to twist it and then pull it up. So I got that done already. So now this is what it's going to look like. Of course, it looks delicious.
Oh, yeah.
And with that sauce is going to be amazing. I may have to run my knife down the sides here a little to clear it. It is soft still, like it would be mashed potato, but let's see if that egg and everything that's in there bind it together when I pops it out onto this plate. I do have it brought out from the sides. This is scalding hot. I wanted to keep it a little bit longer to see if it'll cool down, but it's going to be forever, and I don't want to be forever to show you this recipe. So I'm going to
Let's go. Dum 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 dum.
Now this is the type of pudding that my mom would make all the time, but I come across this recipe and I said, I am going to do it on the show for the first time and show you guys, and we'll see how it goes.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Are we all ready?
We're ready. Dum,
1, 2, 3.
Ta-da!
So this is our salmon pudding. Now how lovely is that? I can see that cheese sauce over it, or gravy.
Oh,
yeah. Have it with whatever, and then serve it with a few mixed vegetables there, so you got a little bit of something else with it.
Yeah.
Boom. Good stuff,
Can
Mom.
you picture
Thanks
now,
for the
have the
recipe.
candle stuck on top singing happy birthday to you? Or anything, you know?
We could, Raymond.
Yeah.
That could be your birthday gift.
That could
Or
be
cake.
good. Yeah.
All right, so let's get that sauce going. Pretty much now what I'm going to do is pour this hot cheese sauce into this little measuring cup, because it'll be easier for me to pour out and to, I guess, put over individual servings. But Raymond wants for me to pour it over this one just to give it a little tiny drizzle of that sauce. Yum. So now I'm going to cut a piece out. Of course you're going to serve this hot because, again, it's a meal that you would serve with whatever.
Oh my.
But here it is. That's your salmon pudding topped with a cheese sauce, or you can do a gravy and serve it whatever way you want, like it is, or with a meal. Yum. Too good to eat. I can see why Mom made a big deal out of this one. She said her and Dad liked puddings, and this is just like a cheap,
yeah.
affordable,
Yeah.
pudding that you could make even with, potatoes that's starting to go, turn to seed. You can cut it off and cook with it. I'm going to have a little taste of this now, and I will tell you what it tastes like. So now I'm going to give this one a little go. It's probably one of these puddings ones that Mom and Dad would serve to us, and we wouldn't know what it is, and we'll eat it anyway because it was so good. And made with whatever. It could have been salmon, could have been tuna, could have been ham, canned ham. I'm going to have a little taste. Definitely creamy and nice, and the cheese sauce kicks it up a notch. I can taste the salmon going in there, but not too much. it is almost like an exotic mashed potato is what
There we
it's
go.
like to me.
That's a good-
Yeah, it's so nice and creamy. And I can see probably even having a chicken breast with this on the side, you know, and of course some of those vegetables. Yum, and a piece of bread, of course.
You make me hungry. Just sitting there beyond the
Drop the fork, delicious, and you're going to love it. I can see 2 thumbs up. And I can see you loving this one. Again, if you don't have this type of pudding tin, you use what you got that you steam things in. If it's microwavable safe, it'll be safe in there on a medium temperature. This is it, as good as it gets. Of course, I'm going to leave the recipe down below this link. Simple ingredients. Probably the only thing you got to buy is the canned tuna, or you might even have that in your cupboard already. Whip this up in no time, put it on your boiler. Also, I'm going to leave the recipe with you on our Facebook page, our website, www.BONITA'Skitchen.com, and if you can't find it in any of those places, send me a message at bonita'skitchen@gmail.com.
And like you were saying, Bonita, you can have salmon, tuna. You could have,
Yeah, whatever,
If you
like
need
this
boots,
is the
it's
kind of, I mean, it is a salmon pudding,
yeah.
but use what you got.
Yeah.
That's the way we're going to say. So this is it. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for stopping by here today. Certainly, we know your time is precious and you've got a lot more things to do than being here with us. We'd like to do a big old shout out to our paid members. Thank you so much for supporting Bonita's Kitchen. Thank you to all of our subscribers to date. We appreciate you subscribing and spending time with us as well. And we welcome new subscribers, and we're excited to hit that 100,000 mark so that we can say, woohoo, we did it, even though we never done this for that.
No.
We just wanted to share our simple recipes with you and your family. So on behalf of myself,
And me, of course.
Raymond, and our team, and from our kitchen to yours,
You have a wonderful day.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Join us by the sea. A journey in culinary. Always an open door. Bonita's Kitchen to yours. Bonita's Kitchen.
If you're visiting Newfoundland and Labrador, don't forget to check out the beautiful town of Clark's Beach and join us again on Bonita's Kitchen.